a tough job, near impossible when you run out of fit bodies?
Oh, wouldn't I love that to be the reason? There's absolutely no reason. The Bulldogs were far too hungry, far too good, led far better, and made a mockery of our defensive mindset.
Particularly first half.
Are you saying that, or am I?
I'm asking you for.
Is that a question?
Yes. First half, second half, or
game.
You must have been very disappointed though with that they just were all over you in terms of intensity in that first quarter.
Well, I think I just said that.
No, I don't think you did. I'm saying in the first quarter in particular that they were.
No, you're right. You are spot on. I should have listened better to your question. When there's so much at stake, and you want to demonstrate that this game means a lot, and the Bulldogs ran over us with, and should have been and could have been 4 or 5 in front. Let's face it, they're bad kicking. First bounce. I mean, our first bounce strategy was in place running down the race, and it wasn't adhered to. That to me is the most disappointing thing about the whole game, is that we went through strategy after strategy, and an acknowledgement was accepted by the players, and unfortunately we weren't able, either to perform it or didn't do it when we had the opportunity. So they're the disappointing things. So the Dogs totally and utterly deserve their victory, regardless how many injuries and that sort of stuff we had.
Given now that it's going to be quite difficult for you to play in the finals, if that's the case and you don't get into the 8, does that strike you as a season where the team's underperformed?
No, because I've taken this side on not from anything but looking at this year. I've looked at the opposition this year. I've had a close. This is the last side we've played to fill the 17 that we've played, and I had an open mind coming here, an open mind with the team. I didn't know. I only knew 2 or 3 of them really, and that's the good thing about it, is I know exactly where we are, and in the building program that's in front of us, I know about. So I don't go back to 2012 or beyond that. I looked at simply looking at the side that I had from October, November, and working forward with it, and looking at the opposition. Had a close look at the opposition last year, and we are where we are. Sides in the 8 deserve to be there.
Can you give us an update on those injuries that you had today?
Which ones do you want to know about?
Chris Judd?
He'll miss. What have we got left? 3. Probably miss the season.
What was his injury?
He's got a medial ligament. He'll be in a brace for a couple of weeks before he gets back on the track. Who else was there? Watson strained a foot, so when he kicked he kicked boot to boot. So he hopefully be back by the end of the year, or before the end of the year. Jeffy Garlett is. We'll just see how he comes up week to week, I think.
And Scotland seemed to be hobbling around a bit as well.
Yeah. But he got through the game.
Sure. Was Garland a hamstring?
No, glute. I think that's all it was.
How do you now get them back on track for next week?
Well, the first thing that we've got to do is have a reality check of where we're at, and take some pride out with us. Take some leadership, and this is not about Mark Murphy either. You know, don't get me wrong about this. This is overall. This is the team leadership. Mark Murphy is a young man who has inherited a fairly big set of shoes to fill, and he, along with the rest of the leadership group, have got to take control, and that's a learning process. Carazzo's out. Waite's coming in for his first game. Dygan has just had 2 weeks off with a report, and we've got Simpson and Murphy. So they've got to run that program, and then we've got to look at players like Scotland and Henderson, and Jamison, Cruiser if he plays, Warnock, etc., etc. Anyone who's had near 100 games, they've got to start to take that leadership role over. Leadership does not just belong to an appointed captain. It's a team issue. They've all got to stand up. So that'll be a great test for us. Great test.
So I guess you get to find out now, how some of the younger guys handle that sort of pressure to step up.
I would say more than the younger guys. This would be a great test for our team. Great test for our team. We could fold up the cards, or we can stand up and make a statement. We play a talented side next week, one that's securely inside the 8, that beat us in the first game, and this is an opportunity to stand up. I'm a coach that turns up Monday morning, believe we can win every game of football.
Sure.
Any last questions? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Right, no worries.